Hello, I'm Mike Orduno, RSI instructor. Today we will learn how to wire a unit with the schematic. So here we go. This is a straight cool schematic. So we're going to start wiring it up. So the first thing we want to do, you can start on your high voltage or you can start on the low voltage, whichever one you want. We will start on the low voltage. So we got our transformer, 24 volts. We're going to run a wire from the 24 volts to the red of the thermostat, which is this wire here. We're going to go from our Y terminal right here, okay, to our low pressure switch. So you get your wire and put it on the yellow wire, put it on the low pressure switch, this is right here. You're going to come out of your low pressure switch and you're going to go to your high pressure switch. So you're going to come out right here and you're going to go up here. So I go from my Y to my low pressure switch. I came out of my low pressure switch, went into my high pressure switch. Now I come out of my high pressure switch and I go straight to my contactor, which is right here. I come out of my contactor and I'm going to my common on my transformer. So here's the other side of my coil. I'm going to the coil. That's my low side. Get a longer wire. Here we go. So I'm going to go to the other side of the contactor coil and I'm going to go to my common, which is this blue wire up here. I just completed my R, 24 volt to my thermostat right here. I just ran my Y to my low pressure switch, came out of my low pressure switch, went to my high pressure switch right here at this white wire, came out of my high pressure switch, this green wire, went to one side of my contactor, completed that circuit. Now I came out of my my contactor coil, sorry, and I went back to my common, which is right there. So I just completed that circuit. Now we got the G circuit, which is your fan. So I go from my G wire, which is the green, I go straight to my indoor fan relay, which is the coil. Coils are always on the bottom, switches are always on the top. So I go to my coil, one side. It doesn't matter which side you go on your coil. Okay? I can go on this side or I can go in on this side. It doesn't matter what goes in, what comes out on the coil. So I'm going to go in on one side. I come out on the other side of my coil. So I just ran this wire to my indoor fan relay coil. Now I'm going to come out and I'm going to go straight to my common. So I just completed this red circuit to the 24 to the R terminal. I just completed my cooling circuit, which is the yellow one, from the Y low pressure switch to the high pressure switch to the contactor coil. I came out of my contactor, went to my common. Now I went from my green, which is this one here, my G circuit. I went straight to my indoor fan relay coil, which is this one here, the white wire. I came out of the indoor fan relay coil and I went back to my common, which is right here. So I just completed that. Now we're going to do the high voltage. So on my high voltage, I'm going to line 1. Here's line 1. First thing I want to do is hook it up to my transformer. So I'm going to hook up this line 1 right here, straight to my contactor, high side. So line 1 is going to go here. Get a shorter wire. Line 1 is going to go here. And it's going to go to one side of my transformer on the high voltage, the high side. On a transformer high side, it doesn't matter what side your wire goes on. I could put it on this white wire or I could put it on the red wire. It doesn't matter which side you put the wire on. So I'm going to go in on one side. I just hooked up my line 1. Now I'm going to hook up my line 2 to my transformer. So I'm going to get another wire. And I'm going to go from my line 2, which is right here, and I'm going to go straight to my transformer right there to L2. So I just hooked up my transformer high side. Now I'm going to hook up my line 1 to my indoor fan relay. So I'm going to get a wire. This is high voltage. This is my coil on the indoor fan relay, which is what you see there. This up here is my switch, which is what you see there. So I'm on line 1 right now with this blue wire. I'm going to come in on one side of the switch. Your switches are across each other. So I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to come out here on the other side, which is what you see there. I just put this wire on. Now I'm going to come on the other side and go straight to my indoor fan motor. So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to my common of my indoor fan motor, which is right here. Okay, now I'm going to come off my run, off my motor, and I'm going to go straight to my line 2. So I'm going to get a wire on my run winding right there on the motor, the R terminal, and I'm going to go straight to my line 2, which is up there, which I need a longer wire. Here it goes. So my run is going to go from here on the motor to my line 2, which is that wire there I just put on. Now I'm going to go from my start. That is my capacitor, the RC with the little symbol of a half moon and the line across it. That's the run capacitor symbol. So I'm going to go to one side on my start cap to the run cap. This is your run cap right here. I'm going to go to my start, right off the S, and I'm going to go to one side of my cap. So I just completed that part right here. Now I'm going to the other side, and it tells me to go to this one here is going to go to L2, okay, line 2. So I'm going to go to my other side, and I'm going to go straight to line 2, or T2, I'm sorry. No, wait a minute. No, I'm right. Line 2, that's going to go up right here to line 2, right up here. So I just completed my indoor fan motor. I went from line 1 to my normally open switch on my indoor fan relay, which is the blue wire I got in my hand right here. I came out of my indoor fan relay. I went to my common on my indoor fan motor. I came out of my R terminal, and I went straight to line 2, which is this green wire I got in my hand. I went from my start cap, which is this one here, and I went straight to my cap. So I came out of here. This is that green wire I got in my hand right now, and I went to one side of your cap. I came off the other side of the cap, and I'm going back to line 2. That is complete. Now I'm going to do the outdoor fan motor compressor. I'm going to grab a wire. I'm going to go from line 1 to one side of my contactor, which is the top. This up here is the top of your contactor. This right here is line 1. This up here is line 2. That's the top right here. These on the inside of the C, where you see the C, that is your bottom. That is T2, and that is T1. So I'm going to go from line 1 to the top of my contactor, which is right here. Here's line 1. I'm going to put a wire on line 1, and I'm going to go to one side of my contactor on the top. Now I'm going to go to the other side, and I'm going to go from line 2, right here, to the top of my contactor. That's done. Now, I'm going to go to the bottom of my contactor, which is right here, T1. That's the bottom of, here's T2. Here's line 1. Here's T1. So that's what I'm doing right there. I'm going to come off of here, and I'm going to go to the common of the outdoor fan motor. So I'm going to get a wire, and I'm going to put it from here, the bottom of the contactor, which is T1, and I'm going to go straight to my common on my outdoor fan motor. I just ran this wire to there. I'm going to come out of my run of the outdoor fan motor, which is this one here. And I'm going to go to my T2, which is right here underneath the contactor. That's line 2. This is T2. This is the bottom. I'm going to do my start capacitor. I'm going to go from my start capacitor, my S, which is my start on my my outdoor fan motor. I'm going to go from my S to one side of my cap. So I'm going to go from my S to one side of my cap. I'm going to come out of my cap, which is what you see on my outdoor fan motor, and I'm going to go to T2. So I'm going to go to the other side of the cap. Okay. So my run's going to go there. Okay. And then I'm going to go to my start right here to one side of my cap. Okay. Then I got to go back to T2, which is I just did on this white wire. So this is all done. The outdoor fan motor is done. Now I got left is my compressor. I'm going to go from T1, which is the bottom of the capacitor contactor, to my C on my compressor. So I grab a wire, I go to my C terminal, and I go to the bottom of my contactor, right there, to T1. Now I'm going to do my run. I go from my run to T2. So I'm going for my run on the R, on the compressor. And I go straight up to my contactor, T2. Now I'm going to come off one side of my capacitor, and I'm going to go to my start. So I'm going to get a wire, and I'm going to go from my start, right here on the compressor, to one side of my cap. And then I'm going to come out of my cap, right here, and I'm going to go back to T2. Which is right here. That's the other side of the cap, and I'm going to go back to T2, which is right here. I just completed a straight cool schematic. That's what you will be doing in this class.